good people? Week 3 waiver wire show. We're breaking down the top guys to add in your league walking into week 3. I've got the board up with the early candidates. If you notice anybody that should be on this list that we do not have listed, please speak up now. Let me know and I'll toss it on the board. But this is what we're looking at walking into week 3. We'll have some week 2 reactions. We'll talk about some of the guys that did well, maybe some of the players that have struggled. Are we worried? Are we not worried? There are always going to be players struggling multiple weeks in a row. We are always going to have people struggling multiple weeks in a row. Sometimes 4 or 5 weeks in a row. It's not always got. Where are my lights? I got a problem with. I got to reconnect everything. Since I got the new Wi-Fi, none of my lights are all connected. We're going to break down some of the good performances, bad performances, Henry had a phenomenal ending to that game. Things started out very bad for Henry, and things turned around very quickly. Henry was used to the max. Are there concerns he's going to break eventually? Still, sure. But until then, as mentioned at the beginning of the year, he will ball until he doesn't. If they keep feeding him like they're going to, it's really hard to imagine Henry staying healthy. I know that's not going to be popular, and I'm probably going to take more heat than I'm going to take people saying, hey, I agree with that. I understand. But the way they used Henry, the way they're going to continue to use Henry, he's going to break down. He's going to be a beast until he breaks down. He will be a monster until he breaks down. But he looks like he's getting overworked. When you watch him on the field, he's completely exhausted. It's hard for him to get up every single time he gets. Like, this dude is being worked into the ground. It's crazy. And until he breaks, he will ball. He will ball. What did I say walking into week 1? I would sell before double-digit weeks because he's going to. I could see it now, having 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had more than that. But I honestly, coming out of quarter 1, I was worried that he wasn't going to have a good game. But Henry exploded. He exploded. And can you imagine being a defender trying to tackle Henry at the end of that game in overtime? You're exhausted. He's exhausted. Everyone's exhausted. And here comes Henry. How are you going to tackle Henry? But we're going to break down all of the... Whoops, that's a bet that I had with the Quad Box gang. Which I'm probably going to lose on that one. Here's the week 3 ads, early ads. If I'm missing anybody, please let me know, and I will toss them up on here. And let's hit the intro, and then we'll get to the percentages of these players owned in each league, so you guys know what you're looking at and the likelihood of being able to grab them. Let's go.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty. Take a lap. What is going on, people? Right in front of your face, you will see the top week 3 ads. And again, if I'm missing anybody, please yell their name out, scream it, and I will add it to the board. I think I've got a pretty good list here because I've got percentages available. Clyde will be a buy low after tonight, says Matt. That could be the case. Pollard looked good, but so did Zeke. Zeke looked good too. They both had a good game. Kind of sucks that Pollard's being used this much at the same time, but they're both playing well. All right, let's put the percentages available in each league. Shake weight. Okay. Madison's available. He's rostered. These are the percentages rostered. He's rostered in 41% of leagues. Can you guys read that? I think I'm just going to use black marker because I don't think you can read that particular color. On the board, So Madison's rostered in 41%. Hold on. We got one. Oh, will blue work? Let's see if blue will work. Can you guys see that color? I think you can. So Madison, 41% of leagues. We're just going to use black. Rondale Moore's rostered in 52% of leagues. 41, 52. McKissick is only rostered in 39. Rostered in. Pollard is rostered in 62% of leagues. Cordell Patterson in 15. Now the interesting thing about Cordell Patterson, I'm going to underline him. This guy on Sleeper, I don't know about in every app, but this guy right here is eligible as a running back and a wide receiver. That makes him kind of a little bit dynamic. So he's a running back and a wide receiver. That's very, very interesting and very, very useful. These markers do work well, actually, pal. These are the best markers you can get. They're liquid, so you have to get them primed and ready. Mike Williams, but I appreciate your concern. Mike Williams is available. He's rostered in 84% of leagues because he's still out there in like 15% or more. I wanted to put him on the board, but just know he's probably not available in most leagues. But it's a big enough number to throw up there. Gainwell's available in just under 50%. He's rostered in 51. Zach Moss is only rostered in 61% of leagues. Michael Carter is only rostered in 65% of leagues. Michael Pittman is rostered in 76. That's a high number. So Mike Williams and Pittman are almost not going to be available in all of your leagues, but I thought I'd throw them up. Henry Ruggs is available and he's rostered in 60%. Marvin Jones is rostered in 68. James White rostered in 55% of leagues. Emmanuel Sanders only rostered in 25% of leagues. I really like this pickup right here. Hasty only rostered in 14. Darnold only rostered in 26. Jacoby Brissett rostered in 0% of leagues. Lindsey 49. Derek Carr rostered in 29. Osborne in 10. And Larry Roundtree is rostered in 26% of leagues. Okay, so let's talk about these guys. What players are must-adds? Let me check the chat out. How bad's Hasty's injury? John. All 49 running. Yeah. Mitchell, I think Mitchell's going to be fine. Mitchell got a ton of work. He just didn't have the efficiency. This game was garbage. The Niners have a lot to work on. I think the Niners need to pull the Band-Aid off and put Trey Lance in. I realize there's 2 wins here, but this offense is so held back, in my opinion. I think they get Trey in there and just things kind of open up. Defense plays, but everything plays better. Trickle-down effect. Kenny Gainwell gone. Gonna be a league winner, says Brandon. Attaboy. So let's circle all the top guys that I think are gonna make a huge difference. Pollard, Rondale Moore, Madison, these guys shouldn't be available, but they are, just because sometimes benches are so shallow that you can't roster everybody. McKissick's very, very intriguing as a running back 2-3. Pollard's a league winner. We knew that, right? Rondale Moore is so good. Rondale Moore is so good. Gainwell is a league winner. Zach Moss is interesting, but I wouldn't call him a league winner because I think he's going to have a tough time staying healthy. But he's going to be serviceable for sure. Roundtree's interesting. Keep an eye on him. Later on, he might be useful. Emmanuel Sanders, very interesting play. Wide receiver 3-4. Ruggs is capable of doing well, but also disappointing. Very talented, very fast. But I don't know how much I believe in him for the long haul. I would say the Patterson's got a lot of appeal. I don't know if I'm going to make him... I'm not going to fully circle him. I don't necessarily feel he's a league winner, but I feel like he's a guy that people should be grabbing and rostering. He's definitely a flex or injury plug-and-play guy. But the most important players, the players that we don't want to later on be like, we should have picked him up, we should have waited. They're probably going to get scooped up this week anyway, but you want to grab them now and hold them as Madison, Rondale Moore, McKissick, Pollard, Patterson, Gainwell, and Moss. Those are my top guys that I want off this list if I'm able to grab them. The guy that has the most... We don't know how bad Cook's injury is. Let me look up Cook's injury. See if there's any update. Rondale Moore looks so good. We talked about Rondale Moore all offseason, how Rondale Moore could be... He could be that Antonio Brown of this draft class. So good. This dude... I have a lot of videos on him from the offseason. He benches... I forget what his bench was. It's as good as anybody's. Like, he can bench press as good as any. He's only 5'7", but he's like built like a refrigerator. He's stocky. He's not small. He's just short. But Rondale Moore can squat more than most linemen in the NFL. Most all linemen in the NFL, Rondale Moore can squat more than him. Rondale Moore, as I talked about all offseason long, got his 4-year degree in 2 years. He's a smart kid. Very hard worker. Numbers through the roof. Speedy quick. Tyreek Hill-esque. Tyreek Hill meets Antonio Brown. Rondale Moore looks fantastic. He's a rookie. They use him all over the field. He can be used on jet sweeps. Smitty, Rondale Moore has to be blowing up local news, and yeah, bro, it's gonna be nothing but Rondale Moore talk. We're gonna have Rondale Moore burgers at the local McDonald's. Get the Rondale Moore sandwich. Get the Rondale Moore car wash. Everyone's gonna be talking up Rondale Moore here in Arizona. Get the Rondale Moore, I don't know, hot dog. Everything. Everywhere you go. Rondale Moore this, Rondale Moore that. That's all I want to see. Dude's gonna... Imagine what happens in 2 or 3 years. Like, Hopkins is no spring chicken. Hopkins is the number one. But in 2 or 3 years, wide receivers tend to get to their peak around 3 years. What is he? Is he where would you rank him in terms of all fantasy wide receivers? And he will probably be the number one wide receiver eventually. Yeah. Rondale Moore happy hour, Danny. Rondale Moore, buy one, get one free at the, I don't know, Five Below. Everything's gonna be Rondale Moore. Everything. Smitty, who's your biggest buys and stuff? We're doing that show tomorrow, Brandon. People aren't gonna like it. They're gonna think I'm crazy, but I still think Henry's gonna be a really good sell high. But maybe not yet. Maybe you ride him for a little while. You run the risk of when that drop-off could happen, but I don't know. I trust my eyeballs, and my eyeballs tell me that dude is going to break. He looks fantastic, but they're going to ride him until the wheels fall off. His usage is through the roof. I don't want to hear about how he got his start late in the NFL. He still had so many carries in college, so many carries in high school. The guy, I don't know if you guys know about his high school stats. Let me pull up his high school stats. They're crazy. Derrick Henry, high school game logs. This is insane. You guys aren't. If you've never seen this, you're going to crap your pants when you look at this. Let me see. I mean, this is insane. Insane. You have never seen anything like this. I can if you haven't seen this before, I can guarantee you it's about to blow your mind. This is Derrick Henry's high school stats. Look at the yardage totals. 336 and 3, 242 and 4, 303 and 5, 5 in one game. 510 and 6, 362 and 6, 201 and 3, 215 and 3, 455 on the ground and 5 TDs. He had a bad game. He had a bad game this week. 242 and only 3. 404 and 6. Okay, we're back on track. 485 and 6. These are bigger than quarterback numbers. Like the best quarterback ever. These numbers are bigger than a quarterback's numbers. He fell off the face of the earth here. 189 and 1. 317 and 4. In one single season, this man ran for 4261, 462 carries, 55 touchdowns in high school. It's unbelievable. And how everybody and their mother, he was talked up a lot, but how everybody and their mother didn't think this guy was going to be a success story at the NFL level. There's a lot of doubters. And he did struggle in the beginning, finding his way at the NFL level. But I don't want to hear he's got little mileage, okay? Like, I don't want to hear, he wasn't used that much in college. He had, I believe it's the fifth highest rushing, fifth highest carry total season in the history of college football. He has that to his name. But he has mileage galore. This man has endured more than any running back should ever be asked to endure. And they're going to run him out there, and they're going to just beat him into the ground. So that's going to be one of my sell highs. It doesn't mean I don't like him right now. It doesn't mean I don't think Derrick Henry is going to blow up in the coming weeks. That's why I say you can play with fire a little bit and say, like, what if I push this to week 10 and then sell him? Like, you could do that. But these wheels will fall off at some point. Maybe I'm a year early, and that's fine. I get the risk there, but we said it. He was going to blow up at the beginning of the year. Derrick Henry was going to blow up at the beginning of the year. He's blowing up. We knew this was coming. It's just a matter of when do you get left holding the bag is the only concern. So we'll get into that. Do we start Zeke and Pollard? Rock out. That's a great question. Depends on your situation. If Pollard matches, if the output Pollard's giving you, or the potential up and down play Pollard could bring to the table, if that matches the level of talent you're dealing with anyway, I don't mind that. But if you're talking about sitting, a Hunt or something like that, no. But if Zeke's in your lineup and at flex you've been struggling with some kind of wide receiver 3-4 that you don't know who's going to do, you're like, do I do Patrick or do I put so and so in? I could see putting Pollard and Zeke in that scenario. I don't think that'll burn you. But Zeke did fine. Pollard just got a lot of work, and you got to wonder. Here's the concern I do have, if I'm being completely honest, with all running backs right now, is the extra game and what coaches are thinking. Do we go committee more than we ever have? Are there going to be very few scenarios where running backs are leaned on so much that, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like it's such a crazy first 2 weeks. We have a lot of things that were predictable, and we have a lot of things that are just not anywhere near. Am I still? I didn't switch over to this mic. It's crazy. We have a lot of crazy scenarios that we're looking at. Thanks for letting me know about the mic. My bad. Imagine trying to tackle Henry in high school. Imagine trying to tackle Henry in this game in the fourth quarter or in the overtime. Imagine trying to bring him down when you're already exhausted. So anybody see a name on this list that we need to add? Is there someone missing? Speak now. I'm curious to know if there's anybody I'm not mentioning that needs to be on this board. If I had to rank these guys, they're kind of in a loosely Somewhat loose type ranking, like nothing concrete or cemented in, but Pollard, McKissick, Rondale Moore, Madison, and then maybe Patterson. Mike Williams is probably not available in most leagues, but I put him on there anyway. That's why he's ranked low, because he's probably not in the picture for any of you. I think Gainwell is about where my cutoff is, where these are like super impactful guys. Tim Patrick's a good one we should probably put on there. Tim Patrick, I don't know how many percentage or what percentage of league. It's not that this marker's out. I haven't like primed it yet. Tim Patrick for sure. But my cutoff, my like elite of the elite pickups is probably, I would say right here. This feels like league winning, and then we'll throw Gainwell in there. The square box around those guys, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. Gainwell, and then the Patterson. And Patterson, he's kind of in that group. I don't know how much I feel like he's a league winner, but he's pretty useful with that running back wide receiver designation that he has both. But Pollard, McKissick, Rondale Moore, Madison, you know what I mean? Like those guys all have win a league potential. Remember when I told you to take Mike Williams late, Smitty? Late where? Smitty, who do you got for Henry's backup to roster? I don't know that there's a backup. I mean, yeah, Nick, I don't think there's anybody that's going to replicate what he's doing, bro. I don't know that there's a guy I'm trying to target. Van Jefferson. Yeah, Van Jefferson's probably a good one. Van Jeff. We'll add him. Cooper Kupp's playing out of his mind. Where do we rank Cooper Kupp moving forward? You know, I admit he's playing way better than I had predicted or thought. Is Cooper Kupp, like, go forward, is Cooper Kupp in your top 6? You know, like, what wide receivers do you have above Cooper Kupp? Is it a handful? Is it 7? Is it 4? I really am curious to know what you guys think of Cooper Kupp moving forward. Stafford loves him. And we didn't know if it would be Woods or Kupp. That was kind of the reason I was a little skeptical of the entire situation. Is you didn't really know, but Kupp looks phenomenal. He force feeds Kupp. This situation's phenomenal. I know he's a wide receiver 1, Okafor, but I'm saying how many wide receivers can you list that you would rather have than Kupp, though? And do you believe he'll continue to do it? I'm just curious where you guys have Kupp. Osborne could be a good pickup. He's on the list, pal. Osborne is right. Osborne is well, he's not numbered, but he's one of the last people on the column 2. Okafor is the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy. I'm not going to rip on that, but I certainly wouldn't rank him 1, but I think he's right there in the 5 to 10. 5 to 7. I mean, you 4 to 7 to be safe. I mean, Kupp's playing out of his mind. Out of his mind. It's crazy. It's crazy. He looks fantastic. Stafford looks so far along in terms of rapport building and meshing with this team. I'm very impressed with Stafford. I'm going to go watch the rest of this game. I'm trying to keep an eye on it while I'm talking to you guys. But I wanted to give you guys a quick week 3 breakdown. Who to add, who to keep an eye on, who to go place your bids on early on. We still got 2 games here. We got the Sunday night game that's going on right now, and then we're busting right into the Monday night game, and then boom. But this is my early take. I'll probably do another video on this, I suppose, tonight, breaking it down a little more, but I wanted to kick this off with you guys, see how you felt, talk a little bit about the Tennessee game. Is Mitchell going to produce again? That's the thing that sucks about Shanahan. You don't know. Mitchell got, what did he get, like 15, 16 carries? He got like, or 17, or something high. 17 carries, I believe. And yeah, let me check Hasty real quick. Is Hasty done? Like, why? Let's see, Hasty, Jermichael Hasty. He's just, I don't have any word on him being out, but Hasty's on the list. Hasty's on the list there, right in the middle of column 2, but until we hear that he's like gone or done or out, tough to know. Claypool isn't happening this year. I don't know about that. And Deontay, what's Deontay's injury? Let's break down Deontay Johnson real quick. Deontay's got a little bit of an injury. Big Ben does look a little bit washed up. Mitchell's getting an MRI. Look, this San Francisco team is littered with injuries. Yeah, Dalvin Cook. What did I say about Dalvin Cook, man? It's a matter of time. I don't wish injury upon anybody. I really hope, and I own him in like one league. I own Madison in like 80% of my leagues, and I'm not trying to say I wish injury upon anybody. I don't. I really hope he stays healthy, but I owned him last year in like 80% of my leagues, Dalvin Cook, and I held my breath on every carry. He crawled off the field 1 or 2 times, was helped off the field 2 or 3 times, and like literally like carried to the sideline. Like his season's done, nail in the coffin, like at least 2 occasions last year. And in this single game, Dalvin Cook was done for the year in our minds. We're like, holy crap, he's done. He looked so injured on that first play, went to the tent, and then comes back into the game. I don't know if this is like he's learning this from LeBron James, how to flop or what, but he looks done on more than one occasion in this game. And now he's hurt. Carry on season, folks. Maybe, pal. Dalvin Cook, as it stands right now, let's see if there's an update on his injury. Nothing. Where's the injury news this year? Nobody has anything. I'm looking at NBC Sports Edge. Nothing. It has a blank. This is what they have for him right now. There's no injury update. It's merely here it is. Let me show you. I go to NBC Sports Edge, and this is what they have. It's blank. Dalvin Cook rushed 22 times for 131 yards. No injury update. Nothing about him being helped off the field. I feel like news is so lacking this year. Ankle. Is it a high ankle sprain? Is it mild? Did he flop? Did he flop like he did with his earlier injury? I don't know. All I know is I own Alexander Madison, and it feels like a matter of time before Madison's starting multiple games because Dalvin Cook is so injury prone. From the shoulder concerns alone, ankle, knee. Maybe he did flop. We'll find out. Once I know more about Dalvin Cook, you can be certain I'm dropping a video. We're talking about it. He may be fine. He may not be. We honestly have no clue right now because news apparently is blank. And if you search Twitter, yeah, Pollard looks fantastic. I love Pollard. There's a reason Pollard is on my bold predictions list for 2021 on sleeperu.com. Learn about it. Tony Pollard wins leagues, baby. It doesn't mean I don't want Zeke to do well. It doesn't mean I'm not rooting for Zeke. I still love Zeke. I own Pollard in every league I own Zeke in, though. But Pollard alone, I've stand alone, only owning Pollard, situations going on all over. So if Pollard gets into that lineup, look out. It's a top 6 to 10 running back season out of Tony Pollard. I guess you can flop in the NFL too, pal. A-Rob has to be a buy low. Yeah, Allen Robinson's a decent buy low with Fields coming in. Give Fields a full week to prepare and get ready. Nick says, I had Dalvin on my team last year. He was great last year, obviously, and he won you the league, but it was like living on the edge of your seat every game. That's the way I feel. That's the way I felt, pal. Nick, it was like holding your breath every carry. And Madison's starting games in 2021. I can feel it. I don't know how many, but Madison's starting games. It could be this week. We don't know the extent of Cook's multiple injuries that he suffered in this game. But it could be this week coming up, week 3. But Madison, I believe, will be starting multiple games in 2021. He is probably, on this board right here, the guy that feels like the biggest league winner. The two guys that feel like the biggest league winners by far. Right here. Pollard, Madison. They feel like league winners. Gainwell. If I had to narrow it down to 3, it's these 3. 1, 2, 3. The trifecta. The tripod, baby. The tripod. Madison, Pollard, Gainwell. The tripod. That's how you win leagues. That's how you win leagues. You stash those bad boys and you get ready for them to drop thunder. Because once they come in, they're going to win you leagues. I'm going to go watch the game. Appreciate all of you. Did I miss any super chats or anything? I think I'm good. Go watch the game, people. Thanks for tuning in.